Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
The Fast Forward series is something I don't have a lot of experience in. I did find Fear. I think I got it in some kind of sale. I was able to bring it home and play through it. And my wife and I played through the entire set twice. Once you play through it once, kind of the novelty or the mystery of it's gone. You kind of know what's coming. And if you were so inclined to memorize when things would come out, you're going to be at a distinct advantage of kind of knowing where things are going to go. So let's talk about your first playthroughs. I really think that what this game is intended to do is to be played one time. You have all the mystery of the game. Yes, you can play it more, and you can get really, very good at this game, I'm sure. I think the first time, the way the rules are set up, it is inclined to be a mystery and be your most enjoyable experience, and I would agree with that. It's not a legacy game in any way. You're not tearing anything up. Play as many times as you want. Let me be clear. So, when you start out, there are no rules. You're just drawing cards. That's what the first card tells you to do. And then, when you get about a hand limit, another card will come out, and it will tell you, hey, this is how you play the game. So, you're able to not read any rules, get the game on the table, and start playing. So, it makes a really good pub game, or a very good, let's buy a game off the shelf, or get it out of the library, and just start playing, and I have a few minutes to waste. Really, this game has no theme, so don't let the horror theme scare you off or bring you into the game, because it's really just numbers. And I can't go into details too much, I don't want to spoil things for you, but it's going to be trying to add numbers up in a certain way to not bust. That's pretty much going to be the extent of the game. We found it enjoyable our first time through, and we wanted to finish it in one sitting, because we were just kind of there, like, hey, let's just keep going and finish it. And it felt, at times, more like a chore, although we were having fun with it. It's a fine game if you like those kind of games like The Mind, where you're trying to get numbers in a certain order and you don't want to bust. I think that's fine. There's nothing here that's going to be mind-blowing. You're going to be like, wow, this is the next greatest thing ever. Kind of feels like a Nietzsche game in some regards when there's like mathematical ones. It's okay. The rules change is what makes it. The mystery is what brings the intrigue into this. That's why I think, third, fourth, fifth time through, he's like, okay, kind of know what's coming. I can start preparing for that. But I don't think the game wants you to prepare for that. I think it wants you to be surprised. Oh, now I got to change my entire strategy here and blah, blah, blah. And I think, so you're going to be playing quite a few times in a row. You can bust through it and finish off the set rather quickly. We did it in a night, maybe an hour or two. We were through the entire thing. So it can be a long experience, or it can be easily saved into shorter, smaller bites of board gaming if you want to do it like that. For me, it's a purge. These kind of games just feel silly and irrelevant to me. Maybe I'd rather, instead of playing something like this, go watch a movie or go take a walk or do something different. It's not something that I find overly appealing. For those that like small card games, I think you're going to like this game a little bit more, and then the crunchy bit of the numbers may find more appealing to you. For us, it's a purge. Here's Fear's little small game in the Fast Forward series. It's number 1. It's called a Fable game. Very portable and very small. You open it up, you're going to get a deck of cards, and that's really it. The cards are pretty good. I don't want to show you a whole bunch. I don't want to spoil anything. But they're big tarot-sized cards. You can see the instructions will pop up every once in a while, and you have different things on these cards. So the cards are very easy. Now, very good quality, I guess, for what you're going to have. It's kind of a game you play a few times through, but every time you play, it's like a campaign game. You have a little bit more to add in. When you want to play the game, the whole game is designed to play without any rules. So this tells you the first top of the draw stack and the first card of the game. Find 2 to 5 players, place draw stack, and get started. And you have some general rules. This is all you're going to start out with. Now, as you progress through the game, you are going to have more and more rules that will pop up. But to get started, this is it, and very clear. The game is going to be very simple to start out with. I'm not going to do any spoilers in this. I'm going to show you how to play the basic game based on the one set of rules that you have. So the cards are going to come in numerical order. That's fine. If you want to reset, they're always going to have numbers at the bottom here, so you can reset it and play through. So on your turn, you can draw a card or play a card. So the first thing you do in the game, you don't have any cards in your hand, you're going to draw a card into your hand. Then what you're going to be able to do is, say another player drew a card, this player drew a card, this player drew a card, or you can play a card face down. So say on my turn, I always want to play a card face down. That would be my turn. And then the next person could possibly play a card face down. Maybe next person wants to draw. There's even negative numbers in here. Whoa, and then a rule set come up. I'm not going to go over the rule set too much, but this is okay to do. So interrupt play, immediately read the text on the back of this card. Now you have a hand limit of 3 cards. At the end of your turn, you announce the sum of all the cards in the center. Right now, it is 5. In your game, if the hand increases sum value above 15, you're going to bust. You're going to lose. The other players add the value of the cards in their hand. The player with the highest sum wins the game. That's the rule now. So when the game started, there was no win condition. Did you notice that? You just had play a card, draw a card. Eventually, this came up with some rules and kind of told you that you're going to be playing cards out. You don't want it to bust 15, and that would go on. Now, there are some cards, they'll do some stuff like exchange the direction, kind of like Uno-esque, and stuff through here. I'm not going to give away a whole lot, but the majority of the game is going to be don't let it bust before it gets to 15, and there'll be a bunch of these rules that pop up as you go through the deck that will change the rules up. But that's a general overview of how to play Fear. Who should buy this game? I think you're going to want a little bit of the mystery. That's going to be intriguing to you, or you play some of the other Fast Forward series and you really like those. I think this is a fine little card game. If you like numbers and maths and kind of that whole busting and theme isn't very important to you, it's more abstract. You're just playing cards for numbers. It's the only thing that's happening here. I think you're going to find this more appealing. If you got some non-gamers or some lighter gamers, they feel like, man, let's fill up a night and just play through this game, I think you're going to have an absolute blast with that. As for me, it's going to be a Purge. Like that's pulling me in or wanting me to stay with the game long term. Absolute Purge.